Before you buy one single ounce of gold and silver in 2025, you need to see what I uncovered when I compared the top five U.S. suppliers on the prices for gold and silver. Because let me tell you, the differences between the top five will absolutely shock you. Hello, everyone. My name is Rick Fronek. I'm the CEO of Silver and Gold Solutions here in Bullion, Illinois, and your host of Gold and Silver Stacking Saturdays. And in today's special report, because this is a lot of, I wanted to share this information with everybody because there are so many companies out there that say that they have the best price on this, the best price of that, or their storage is the best price. Well, I did a deep dive and I want to uncover all this information for everybody here today so you can have a more informed decision for yourself and your family and your future. That has always been my goal here for Silver and Gold Solutions, and also on our Gold and Silver Stacking Saturdays, where we kind of go behind the scenes and find out information that the average everyday person or investor or person looking to start saving in silver and gold has that information at their fingertips so they can make a more informed decision here for their family and their future. Okay, so what we're going to do is in this video today, it's a very important video. So like, if you're curious about gold and silver, or maybe you're already purchasing it or saving for your future in it. But in this case here, I'm going to go over some details that are definitely going to make an impact and be definitely worth your time. So I encourage you to watch everything to the end because I do have a special announcement that I'm going to be sharing here in the presentation as well. But right now, the average person is being priced out. Okay, with the price of gold going up as much as it has this in the last 2 years really, and also silver having its spike this year. The premiums vary between dealers. Okay, and the storage fees are often hidden. Like a lot of people might not necessarily want to actually take physical silver and gold into their home or wherever they're at in the world because of the risk of it being stolen or what have you. So there are different options that a lot of companies offer for saving your investment in their locations in their vaults. So I want to touch on that today as well, and then also show you the real numbers from all five major suppliers, and also a company that those of you that know me, I have been with 7K Metals for going on close to 6 years now, and I highly recommend them. But that's not the point of this video. I do want some of the prices are going to shock you even compared to 7K. But what I'm going to share with you is the information so you can get a feel for where you may or may not want to purchase your silver and gold. And I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from a specific supplier, or maybe you're already buying from somebody. My goal here is to provide information to give you solid details on what you might want to do moving forward. And I'm also going to give you pointers on what to watch out for to help you make a more informed decision, because there's a lot of hidden fees on a lot of these companies' sites. And that's what I want to kind of expose here today, more or less. Okay. So what we're going to do here is I always do this because this is very important. If you follow me on the Gold and Silver Stacking Saturdays, I always do a gold silver ratio because that's important. That's investors that have been, saving in the form of precious metals for years also utilize this tool to gauge, what type of investment they might want to make, whether it's gold or silver or both. Okay, in this case here, back when I started the Stacking Saturdays, it was back at the end of June, and gold was at 33.69 and silver was at 36.02. And here we are. This information that I'm presenting here today is based on the pricing at the end of the week of November 21st. So I have November 22nd here. The gold price was at 40.66.80 an ounce, and silver was at 50.09 an ounce. So you can see that huge jump here over the course of the past couple of months here. But so typically with the gold silver ratio, what it means is that how many ounces of silver does it take to equal 1 ounce of gold? And earlier this year, there was at one point where the gold silver ratio was like over 100 to 1, which is unheard of. That would actually have been the most optimal time to buy silver. But in this case here, right now, with this being the prices here at 40.66 and silver at 50.09, that means that it takes 81.19 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. Now, typically the historical ratio is usually in that 60 to 1 or 40 to 1 range. So we're still things are still blown out of proportion, which means that at some point, silver is going to catch up to that and, hit that mean average over the years, which is, like I said, 40 to 60 to 1. Okay. So, and even comparing this to last month, at the beginning of October last month, it was 80.91 ounces of silver, and then on October 18th, almost a month ago, or just over a month ago, it was at 81.48 ounces per ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. So it's staying pretty consistent. So there's still room to for silver to catch up. So what that means is typically right now, if you're looking at for, gold and silver as a long-term plan. It's not something that you want to necessarily do for short-term gains, although because what I talk about here is physical silver and gold. We're actually, having the physical silver or gold, not ETFs. Okay, so in this case here, that's more of a long-term game. Okay. But in this case here, what you would want to do is more or less look at saving in the form of silver because its gains are going to be exponentially higher than the percentages of gold. Okay, because right now gold has really, it's doubled over the last 2 years, which is just amazing. So I just kind of want to keep this in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I do want to do a special invitation. This is the week of Thanksgiving here in the United States, and it's just my way of paying it back to everybody who's either watched my videos, subscribed to my channel, or maybe you're new on here. On Wednesday, November 27th at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and also this coming Saturday on our live stream at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have a special presentation where it's going to be a short wealth strategies presentation. And during that presentation, I will also have a prize giveaway and drawing for the attendees that actually show up. So it's something that you physically have to be there to win the prize. So I will have a link below the video here for you to go ahead and register for that as well, because you will get an exclusive link for that. So I just wanted to share that real quick. So basically, everything that I'm sharing in this video is pricing based from November 15th of this year. Okay, so at that point, gold was at $4,085.90 an ounce. Silver was at 50.65 an ounce. Okay, and what I did is I did a search with ChatGPT, and I asked it, what are the top five best-selling gold and silver suppliers in the United States. And this is what it turned out. They gave me APMEX, BGASC, JM Bullion, Money Metals, SD Bullion. Those were the top five. And what I'm going to do is, because I've always talked about 7K, I'm going to compare them to 7K metals, okay? Just so you can see 7K metals is not a mainstream gold and silver supplier where they're not always advertising all over the place. They're a referral based company. And that's their goal has always been to make sure that to make the ability for the average everyday person to own physical silver and gold. So that's been their motto since they were created back in 2016. Okay. And they are a US based company in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Okay. So I'm going to compare all these top five, and also I'm going to share information on 7K. And what in this video, you're going to see how the payment methods affect the price. Now, every single one of these companies, a cash price, or it usually gives a bigger discount. Okay. So the typical average is that the cash price is going to be like a 4% discount, where it's e-check, ACH, a paper check, or bank wire. These companies do accept cryptocurrency. So if you're exchanging, Bitcoin or Ethereum, you're going to get like a 3% discount. Okay. And each one has their own currencies that they would exchange for gold and silver. And also there's a credit card and PayPal, which, covers the major credit card companies. But that's something that in all cases, they do not offer a discount for that. In a lot of cases, there's that percentage fee that they charge for processing that credit card. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because everybody's cryptocurrency fluctuates so much and not everybody is able to do e-checks or something, a bank wire. So I'm going to base this whole presentation is based on using a credit card to purchase 1 ounce of gold and 1 ounce of silver. Okay. So the quantity does make a difference. The more you buy, the better price you get. And then there's also shipping involved with a lot of each company has their own shipping charges. Although what I discovered is for gold that most of them do not charge anything because it covers their minimum shipping charge value. Okay, so we're basing everything on these two prices, and I'm going to go first, and I will go over each of these companies first, show you screenshots of actual. When I did the research for this presentation, and then also break it down into a chart where you can look at all companies and you see they're as low as price, their actual price when you go to buy one, and then the shipping and then the total value. Okay, so I wanted this is really valuable information because it does give you an eye-opening look at what gold and silver companies do as far as, trying to earn your business, pretty much what they're doing. So they, not there's not going to be one that says we're the second best in the world that has the second best pricing. No, they're all going to say that we have the best pricing around. Okay, so this is something that's kind of a misconception because not everybody can have the best price, and a lot of times they lure people in with this the as low as price. Okay, so that's kind of key to keep in mind when you're looking at this the information that I share. Okay, so this is BGASC, okay, and it's buy gold and silver. In their 2025 1 ounce American Silver Eagle is at their as low as price is $58.46 each. Okay, but with it, when you use a credit or a debit card, the price goes up to, in this case here, it's 62.98. Okay, so because you're not buying in volume, the pricing that they're sharing there with the as low as is a volume buy. Okay, so there you always have to make sure that you click on, to see where the breakdown is for each quantity. Okay, but in this case here, that still is a good price. So even with their as low as price being 58.46 and their price being 62.98, with their shipping charge, the total comes out to 72.93. Okay, so that's not a bad price for a 1 ounce American Silver Eagle to be physically shipped to you. Now, next is APMEX. Okay, so their as low as price is 63.78. But when I go ahead and click this to add it to my cart, um, in order to get the 63.78, if you look down here at the bottom, a 1 to 19 is 65.78 with a check. Credit card is 68.52. Okay, so we're doing a comparison with credit card. But in order to get that 63.78, you would have to buy 1,500 plus 1 ounce silver coins. And not everybody can do that. Okay, me included, I cannot do that. So it's something that, it's kind of luring people in with that price to grab their attention, thinking that they are going to get the best possible price. And before you know it, you have all these additional charges. So I went ahead and changed it to the credit card price. And when I did that, the price goes up to 68.52. Their shipping is 9.95. So your total is going to be 78.47. Okay. So we went from 63.78 to actually physically having it shipped to you at 78.47. And next is SD Bullion. Okay. So they have their 2025 Silver Eagle is at 59.31 as low as. Okay, in this case here, when I did click this for a credit card, there was a slight price increase, which is not bad at all. Okay, so it went up to 61.51, and their shipping charge, because if you don't hit like a minimum, typically minimums are anywhere from $200 to $300 for a lot of the gold and silver companies, but in this case here, the shipping would be 9.95, so their total is 71.46, which is not bad. Um, Money metals, okay, their as low as price was $59.27. You see that right here. Okay, that's the Silver Eagle. And when you go to click on that as for a credit card, I did add one to cart. I clicked the credit card option, and it's got the price goes up to $60.27. Okay, that's very minimal. So basically $1 more, and their shipping charges is $7.97, and so their total is $68.24. So we went from $59.27 to $68.24 with minimal additional prices. And so in this case here, again, the 59.27 is a volume type pricing where you're buying, 1,000 plus or what have you. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. And then here's JM Bullion. So their as low as price is 59.76. Okay, so we got the right here, 2025 1 ounce American Silver Eagle, 59.76. Now, when I did this with the credit card, okay, so I first clicked one and I went to add it to the cart. So it shows you the ACH check wire at 61.76. So even if for one, if you used a check or wire, uh, it's 61.76, which is $2 more than their as low as price. If you used crypto, it would be 62.40. If you used a credit card or PayPal, it would be 64.33. So we go from 59.76 to 64.33, and the shipping is 9.95. So that equals a total of 74.28. All right. So next we have 7K metals. So this is in through their sound money wallet. So I went into my sound money wallet with 7K, and the 1 ounce US Silver Eagle buy price at that specific moment, when I went in, was $62.65 an ounce. When I went to put that in for the 62.65, it says just please round up to the next dollar. So I went up to $63. And what they do is they have a processing fee of the credit card processing fee, the 3%. So that's $1.89. So for the physical price, it would be 64.89. But then with any silver sent from your Sound Money wallet, or your Sound Money vault, I should say, um, they do require FedEx delivery and a signature. Okay, so that way they make sure that you are the one signing for your investment. Okay, so because of that, the the additional cost, kind of between the $1.89 and the shipping cost with the signature, it kind of adds up to, so it'd be 78.32. So I put that as a special note because um, all the other companies that I've just covered, they'll just do a straight shipping without. They'll have the tracking, but they won't have signature delivery. Usually, that's an additional $3 for any $2 to $3 for any company, whether it's the post office or FedEx or UPS. Okay, so now here's a breakdown of the comparisons. So we have APMEX, BGASC, JM Bullion, Money Metals, SD Bullion, and 7K. Now I'll pause this for a second here as I'm just going over it here. But you see between, you had Money Metals had the cheapest shipping. They also had, technically, they also had the best price for a 1 ounce silver coin. Okay. But you see the differences. We go anywhere from the 60.27 on the low end, all the way up to 68.52 with APMEX on the high end. And then your shipping charges typically vary. And I'm not sure why they must have a special discount with the post office or the company that they use, so they can offer it like but basically $2 cheaper. Um, and then also here's the total price. So overall, when you look at these top with these six companies, technically, the best price is Money Metals, and by no means am I endorsing them specifically. I have purchased from them in the past. They are a good company. I'm not going to say anything bad about any of these companies. I will complete transparency here. I've never purchased from APMEX, BGSC, or yeah, those two I haven't. Jam Bullion, Money Metals, SD Bullion, and 7K I have purchased from in the past. Okay, and I have no complaints about any of them. As far as the service that they did. So this gives you a nice breakdown. So if you wanted to pause this or whatever, take a screenshot of this when you're watching the video, it'll give you a nice idea of, between these top five that ChatGPT said and 7K, what the price breakdown is. Okay. So there it is. I just had this as another slide with just straight the prices. Okay. So now we're going to go over real quick, breaking down the 1 ounce gold American Eagle. Now, this is something that, like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of the companies, because the value of the gold itself is higher than their minimum shipping charge thing. A lot of them have free shipping. Okay. But keep in mind here again is the as low as price, because that is misleading. And this is why, as I was doing all this research for this presentation, I realized that this is probably the main reason why the average everyday person doesn't buy gold and silver, because you get into these websites and you have all this kind of, you see this great price, but then before you know it, you're paying X amount more. And what I wanted to do here, when why I had said 7K to this as well, is because of their unique way of allowing people to purchase incrementally. But in this case here for this special report, we're doing a physical 1 ounce gold American Eagle, where you're ordering it, having it shipped to you, and you physically have it in your hand. So again, there's different options to pay in crypto and cashier's check. Those are typically discounted, and credit card and PayPal. Typically, the additional cost because of them is incorporated into the price that they show. Like the top five, they have it incorporated in there. 7K has it separate, so you see exactly what it is. Okay, so that's probably the biggest difference between the 5 and 7K. All right. So in this case here with BGASC, okay, their 2025 1 ounce American Gold Eagle is the here we have as low as 42.80.18. Okay. So when you I went to click on here for the credit debit card, it gives you a 1 to 9 price is 44.74.14, and 100 plus price is 44.58.52, which is still quite a bit higher than their as low as price. So here we go. This is what I mentioned about the cash price discount is 4%. Crypto is 3, and credit card, there's no discount. Okay. So in this case here, that's when you get to this 42.80.18. That's because they're, you know, trying to get you to pay with, an e-check or paper check or bank wire. Okay. And not everybody's going to do it. Typically, most people purchase with a credit card. So in this case here, that's kind of misleading. That's the only thing I really did not like about a lot of what I found out during for this special report was that they shouldn't say as low. They should just say as low as 42.80 right away with a cash price. That way people know that they're not going to get sucked into something where it's going to cost a lot more. In this case here with APMEX, okay, they had us when I did this report, they had a special going for 42.97.97 for any quantity of a 2025 American Gold Eagle. Okay, so when I added this item to the cart, it came up at 42.97.97, and they show that that's with the check. Okay, with the credit card, it's 44.77.05, and yet but they do show all the quantity. They were at least consistent. They show 1 through 9 all the way up to 100 plus. It's still going to be 42.97.97. But in this case here, we're paying with a credit card. So it did put that price in there initially, and it gave a $10 discount. But then when I said proceed to checkout, that's when it bumped up to this 44.77.05 price. So kind of keep that in mind too. A lot of the places have a countdown timer because the price of gold and silver, the spot price is constantly fluctuating. So you have like a 10-minute window to purchase this metal at that price. Okay. So if I came back 15 minutes later, the price is going to be different, whether it went up or down. And it might only be, a couple pennies or whatever, a couple dollars, but I just wanted to point that out as well. So in this case here, in order for me to buy 1 ounce from APMEX, it would have cost 44.67. So they did still include that $10 discount. But in this case here, it is still quite a bit different than their 42.97.97. And then SD Bullion, they had an as low as price of 43.11.71. And this I thought was kind of interesting again. Whereas for the quantity of one, when I hit credit card, I was expecting a huge jump, but no, it only went to 43.26.04. So we only had about a little bit less than $15 difference. So my guess is it's covering that a small fee for the credit card or shipping or whatever. It's all kind of wrapped into that. So that was a very surprise there with SD Bullion. Okay. And here's the money metals. They're they're as low as price for the Gold Eagle was 43.22.25. Okay, in this case here, it's similar to SD Bullion. When I went to click to add to cart for credit card, it only went up to 43.36.25. So here it went up basically $14. Okay, so that's not bad at all. All right, so proceed to checkout, then you would go ahead and process it. Now, they did not charge any shipping at all, so that was going to be my final price. Pardon me. Now, JM Bullion, they had the 2025 1 ounce American Gold Eagle at 43.10.18. Okay, so you see that here. But when I clicked on this, it's got 1 through 9. This is for credit cards. So we went from 43.10.18 and the as low as price, and it jumped up to 45.05.39 paying via credit card. So it's almost like and it's unfortunate. I get it that there's credit card fees for processing that, but in this case here, they don't want to pay they don't want to pay the extra for your business. A lot of companies do this. And most companies, they just try to tie it into the cost without showing it separate. Like in this case here, this is ships within 1 business day of cleared payment. So it went up to 45.05.39. Okay. And then with 7K metals, now this again is through the Sound Money wallet. Okay, so you would have to have an account or a membership with 7K. But this is a little bit unique, so I'm gonna give a little bit more information on here about 7K as well. But when I logged into my back office, it was 44.05.90. Okay, so that's the physical take it into your hand price. Okay, so you round up to the nearest dollar, so 44.06. Now they did have a credit card processing fee. See here they separated it out, which brought it to 45.38.18. Um, now I did contact them and talk to them about this, and the way to avoid that is by linking up your bank account to the Sound Money account and choosing ACH as your method of payment when making the purchase. And you can also do bank wire or cashier's check. But here again, for this demonstration purpose in the special report, I'm going to share with you the price for credit card, which is 45.38.18. Okay, and I'll touch a little bit more on the Sound Money wallet here in a minute. So here's the breakdown of all top five companies and 7K. So you see their as lowest price goes anywhere from 42.80 all the way up to 44.05.90, which I'll explain more about that in a moment. And then the shipping and handling, it's pretty much zero across the board. But as soon as you click on that for the 1 ounce, we see here that the two companies that don't have that much of a difference are actually BGASC. They went up to 42.95.18, so that's just a little bit. And then you have Money Metals and SD Bullion also did not have that much of an increase in it. Okay. Like in this case here, like I mentioned here with 7K, it's because of the processing fee for the credit card. Then they spelled it out separate. So without the credit card processing fee, it would have been 44.21.95, which is still a little bit up there, but it is still kind of in line between the mean of all of these here. So this is, if you wanted to pause this and do a screenshot, it does give you a nice overview of these top five companies and 7K, what the physical take and delivery, especially right now we're on the holidays. If you were looking to buy a 1 ounce American Gold Eagle and wanted to have it shipped to you, this is important information for you to have. Okay. And this again was at gold at 40.85.90 per ounce. Okay. So this was the breakdown again here with the credit card purchases. Now, this is I'm going to talk about the storage comparison real quick because a lot of people may not want to have it stored in their home or in their bank. I do not recommend, and anybody who's on here who works for a bank will probably disagree with me, but I do not recommend storing in a safety deposit box because if that bank is closed by the federal government or whatever country you are, if they close that bank, they're not going to say, oh, by the way, we're going to be open tomorrow for an hour. You can come and get your stuff. No, it's there. It's gone. Okay. And that's what kind of happened back in the Depression here in the United States back in the 20s. Okay. 1920s. Okay. So with BGSC, they do not have storage. I did not find anywhere on their website where they offered storage. Now, it's possible that they do, and I just was not able to locate it. But from everywhere where I looked, I did not see where they would offer storage. They're more of a gold and silver supplier, where they want you to take physical delivery. APMEX uses a company called Citadel to store your investment in their vaults, and their fees is 0.55% annually of the value of your gold or silver. So depending on how much you save, that's going to add you additional cost onto your investment. And the way I look at it is if you're investing in investing in your future should not cost you money. Okay. And if it is, it should be minimal for storage, not something where you're going to be paying either monthly or annually just to have your metal stored somewhere. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. That's very important. SD Bullion, they have a promotion where the first 3 months are free. And then after that, it's $9.99 a month. But for annual, and that's like for a smaller quantity. Like if you have like 100 ounces of gold in there, you're not going to be paying $9.99 a month. You're going to be paying a 0.29% annually. And for silver, it would be like 0.39%. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind as well. It depends on how much volume or how much you plan on saving or investing in. Money Metals has a $96 per year minimum. Their price also does go up depending on the amount of gold or silver that you have and the value of it. Okay. So that's just a minimum of $96 a year, which is not bad for a minimum, but that's if you have a lot that you're going to save or invest in, then you might want to take a look at what those additional costs may be. JM Bullion, what I found was really interesting, they have a $50 handling fee per storage, whether you're checking it in or checking it out. So kind of keep that in mind. And I have another a slide I'll show you here in a moment where it shows that. So just kind of keep that in mind. So you're additionally paying for them. They're storing your gold or silver and you're paying a monthly or a fee for it to be stored, but then for any type of handling or movement of it, that gold or silver, they're going to charge you $50 extra. So that's going to be like an additional cost that you maybe we're not looking at for down the future. 7K metals, they do have a very unique and now this is why I want to kind of expound on this a little bit right now. 7K Metals has a very unique membership. They call it a membership because basically you're setting up your account, your sound money wallet to where you can buy silver and gold in fractional amounts. If you wanted to buy $2 or $3 of gold or silver at a time, you could do that. Okay, no other company allows you to do that. So if you wanted to buy a little bit at a time, to build up to a 1 ounce gold eagle or a 1 ounce gold bar or what have you, you could do that just on your own budget. Okay. And I'll talk about it a little bit more here right before the end. But they have a one-time membership cost, which includes the storage. So there's a basic membership, which is $149, but that it includes storage up to $1,000 in value. And also, once you, with your membership, you get $20 of instant gold pay into your Sound Money wallet. Okay. So right away, it's, yeah, you pay the 149, but you're getting $20 in gold right off the bat. And also the storage with no additional cost for that storage up to $1,000. With their legacy membership, it's a little bit more, but there are additional benefits to that. That's $599, and that gives you storage up to $50,000. So if you went through like some of these other companies, you're going to see that just for storage, you're going to be paying close to or more than what is included with their legacy membership. But that also includes $40 of instant gold pay into your account. So if you created your membership and when you went to set up your account, you would have $40 of gold automatically in there. Okay. But in this case here, with this $50,000 storage, what's very unique is no recurring fees whatsoever. So if you had $50,000 of gold or silver in your Sound Money vault, okay, stored in there, you would never, you just kept that amount. You would never have a monthly storage fee or another annual storage fee, whereas all these other companies, every single one of them charges either a monthly or an annual fee. So that would be a recurring fee. So it's like I said, you shouldn't, you're saving for your future. Your investment shouldn't cost you money to store it. Okay. In this case here, that's where it's like a one-time thing. And there's never, it's not like you would have to pay this membership fee every single year. That's a one-time fee. And that gets you complete storage for as long as you have the metal there. Okay. So this is what I want. I wanted just kind of this when I'm not picking on Jam Bullion by no means. So if anybody's watching here for that, they either buy from them or they're from Jam Bullion. I'm not picking on you whatsoever. But when I did go to their website, I doing trying to find out information about the storage. I did notice this with the 2025 1 ounce American Silver Eagle if I wanted to sell one back to them. Okay, they have a nice price here of $51.99, which is a good price for that's just a little bit over spot at the time because we were at 50.65. So that's actually a very good price. But what I noticed is our minimum sale amount is $3,000. So if you wanted to sell your silver back to Jam Bullion, you would have to have at least a minimum of $3,000 worth in order to do it. You couldn't just do the one coin. Whereas like, from my own personal experience with 7K, if you wanted to, sell back $20 of silver, you could do that and get it put back into your bank account. Whereas here, they're having a minimum requirement. Okay, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I just wanted to point that out. It's kind of a little bit, kind of an interesting point. And then also, when I was doing this, when I was looking down their website, it says, due to rising prices and increase sell to us orders, processing of orders and subsequent seller payments are experiencing a delay. I thought that was not good. It's not if there's a delay. So, at least they're saying it's in writing, it's on their website, which was good that they had that there. But to me, that was kind of a flag. It's like, well, why, if you're selling stuff back to them, why, and they're getting the gold or silver or what have you, why would there be a delay in getting you the money? Okay, so I did not call them to ask them about that, but I just thought I'd point that out. So kind of look for different things on different company websites as to whether or not they may have some issues. Okay, if you're planning on selling money or gold or silver back to them. And then also I found here too, this was their their handling fee, which I thought was kind of interesting. So they have these five locations, Dallas, Las Vegas, Singapore, Toronto, and Zurich. And they go, most of them are $50 handling fee. And then there's $100 for Zurich. Okay. And then this is their, a percentage wise, for Bullion, it's a 0.5% up to 0.8%. Um, and so it says handling for applicable for per check in, check out. So whether you're putting gold or silver into it or taking it out, this is what you have. And they have a different a fee for numismatics, graded collector coins or something like that. It's 0.9% across the board. So I just kind of wanted to point that out because I thought it was kind of interesting. And again, like I said, I'm not picking on GM Bullion. Like I said, I purchased from them before. They are a good company, but I just thought it was kind of something I would like to share with everybody. So like right now, I wanted to share that information because between the actual comparison between the silver and gold prices between all companies, that's valuable information. Everybody does need to know that. So if you're brand new, I hope you really got some great information from this video because that's my goal is just to educate and inform people and help them make a better decision for themselves in their future. So you do have choices. So, what now? That's how I have this titled. I do want to touch upon 7K just for real quick because what they do offer is something extremely unique. No other company in the world offers what they do with the Sound Money Vault and Sound Money Wallet, where you can save in incremental amounts. You control, it's based on your budget. So you control how much you put in there. There's no storage fees once you pay your one-time membership fee, and then there's no storage fees up to those amounts. And I did check with 7K on the 50K amount. So say if you did make a larger purchase and wanted to store that in the Sound Money Vault, currently they're not charging anything additional for that. Okay. That may change in time, but right now there's no additional fee. And so that's kind of a key point there too. But they have instant buyback. Okay, you don't have to physically, if you have money in your vault or your wallet, like in this case here, if you had $50 of gold or $50 of silver in your Sound Money wallet, you could actually convert that back to cash if you needed it. With a click of a button, it would go straight back to your bank account. And that's something that no other company instantaneously does that. You can do as little as you want or as much as you want. They base it on the price of the market that day. Okay. So if you bought silver at when it was $25 an ounce or something, and now um, you're converting it back to cash and with it being up over $50 or with the at spot price, what they do is the fee is it's not a separate fee. They take a small percentage of the silver that you have. Okay. And it's you're talking like a dollar to a couple dollars or something, like depending on how much you do. Okay. So it all depends on the circumstance. But so it's not like you're paying extra cash or anything. That's just the processing and then it goes straight into your bank account. Okay. So it's very, 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 very minimal. And they're also available in 63 countries across the globe. So you don't necessarily have to be in the United States to work with 7K. I will have a link or information about the other 63 countries below the video. And I also have it on our Silver and Gold Solutions website as well. So I just kind of wanted to point that out here. So there are some different advantages. And like I said, with each membership account with a 7K, you do have instant gold pay put into your account. And 7K, let me go back. Okay. 7K is a referral-based company. They'd rather pay the people that actually have their memberships to share the information with other people, as like I am doing with you here, as far as their marketing and everything. So that's why you don't see them plastered all over the internet. You don't see TV commercials or radio commercials about them because they're paying it forward to their members that have it. So they would rather pay, give a little extra bonus for somebody that shares the opportunity with another person and instead of paying for all this advertising. So there is one, I do want to point out something real quick with, oops, let's go back here. So with this legacy membership, the $5.99, an additional bonus besides the 50K storage with no recurring fees on the storage fees there. They do have where if you did have a legacy membership and you referred somebody to 7K, Their special bonus for legacy members is that if anytime a person that you refer to, if you have a legacy membership and you refer someone to 7K, anytime they transact in the Sound Money wallet where they put money into it, like gold or silver, you get 1% of that, okay, as a bonus into your account. So that's an additional thing, okay? So that's something that no other company out there offers that their other companies do have different referral plans in that. Um, but a lot of nothing like 7K. So say if you had referred somebody, you had a legacy membership and somebody that you referred created their account and then they put in like $10,000 worth of gold and you bought $10,000 worth of gold or silver, you would get 1% of that into as a match, whatever was silver or gold into your account free of charge. Okay, so it's a hidden bonus with 7K. Um, so I just want to I do want to offer this to people because, as you know, I am a member of 7K and December 1st. So between now and December 1st, if you do decide that you would like to become a member of 7K, I have a special bonus that's from me personally to you. I will not be doing this after December 1st. The everything that I've been doing this in the past, and it's silver's going up, and it's going to keep going up, and I'll share more of that on this coming Saturday's call. But you would get a from me personally, not 7K. You'd still get the benefits of 7K, but from me personally, you would get a Silver and Gold Solutions coffee mug, a 1 ounce silver buffalo round, which is right there, and then a 1 ounce copper round as well. Okay. So that's just my gift to you and my way of paying it forward and helping everybody finish the year strong and have a little bit better, uh, at least something physical. So not only you have that from 7K, but this is something physical from me to you that I would ship it to you at absolutely no cost. Okay, so in closing, I thought this was eye-opening. I enjoyed putting this information together. It took me a lot of time to do that. But basically in a nutshell, stack smart and stack consistently. That's the biggest thing. You might want to you start thinking, okay, I'm going to start saving in silver and gold, but then you kind of um you find other excuses not to save in silver and gold. Whereas the nice part about the Sound Money wallet and that is you could literally use it as a bank account for your, if you only have, urgent expenses every once in a while, you could still contribute weekly or monthly to your account. And then if you ever needed to get it out, you could do that as well. But then also, I wanted to point out, you know, do it consistently, but also verify your numbers. So double check everything that, when you go to purchase gold or silver online, make sure that it's in your budget, that it's something that, you see the hidden pitfalls that I shared with you between the as low as prices and then also the additional costs, whether it's credit card processing or shipping and handling. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. And this way, hopefully you'll avoid unnecessary fees and have more of your money that you're putting into physical real gold and silver working for you. Okay. And then just a last quick plug here about so November 26th, that's a Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll have a live stream. And then also on Saturday, on our next gold and silver stacking Saturdays, we will have a live stream with a wealth strategies presentation on there. And it's a 9-minute presentation. I've shared it before, but I'll just go over it. I'll give a couple of quick facts along with the information, and then we'll have the drawing, and then that'll be it. So it's worth your time to jump on that. If not, I'm sure at some point we'll catch up. And I do want to offer, I will, if anybody's interested in a private Zoom call or presentation for yourself, your family, or your business. I do that for local businesses here in Gullion, Illinois, where I do give a wealth strategies presentation with a PowerPoint and kind of it's more in depth than what I'm sharing here, but it's something that I do that as well. So if you want, you can reach out to me at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org and we can set something up. Okay. So I really appreciate everybody's time. I hope you got some great value from this. And like I said, this is something you do need. Everybody should watch before they purchase, just so you know what to look for, and also, who's going to give you the best value, for your money. And, a lot of times too is, when you purchase something on any of these websites, 7K's got to be all over the place. They guarantee they're going to give you, the best buyback price in the industry. And when I've done that in the past, they're usually the first, second, or third as far as the price, depending on the markets at the time. But whenever I've compared them to other companies, they are usually in the top one or the top two as far as the price. But just make sure that if it's something that you want to in turn, maybe in the future, take that gold or silver and sell it back to the company you bought it from. Just kind of check the fine print to see what they say about that. Because if you take it to a gold or silver, like a pawn shop or any place that buys gold and silver, they're worried about how much profit margin they're going to have. So you're definitely going to get a lot less than what you paid for it. So kind of keep that in mind as well, moving forward. So I want to thank everybody for your time. I hope you got some great insight. If you have any feedback, or if you want to reach out to me, you can either leave comments below the video or hit me up at rick@silverandgoldsolutions.org, and I'll be happy to get back to you as quickly as possible. So thank you again for your time. I wish everybody a great rest of 2025, and my goal is to try and share as much information as possible and to help people out as best as I can. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.